Welcome to BH Tech Info. In this particular video, I'm just explaining complete description about the program. As I have explained in the last class about class definition and its programming example, the same program I have defined, but there I have defined one addition of two number. Here I'm just define a multiplication of two number. And as we know, the definition of program is a set of instruction. So many lines I have defined here. In the last video itself, I have clearly mentioned if you want to develop any program using OOPS concept with the support of C++, you should have idea about one is library function, second one about class block, and the third one main. The numbers already mentioned. The first one indicate about library, the second indicate about class block, and the third one indicate about main block. With the help of these library functions, we are executing the input-output statement of the class block, and the member functions are executing with the help of main block. Okay, one by one we will see. First one. Here 3 to 4 library functions I have defined. Each and every library functions are having its own property, its own characteristic. The first one, iostream.h. The first of all, iostream stands for input output a stream. Stream is nothing but a character. The basic input output will be executed with the help of iostream. Which are the basic input output? For example, int ABC. This is the basic input, because whatever the value we are passing to the computer or a system, those things called as input. But when these things are displaying in the form of result, that's nothing but output, and that output statement refers here, right? So this input, reading here, and output. So these kind of basic things we are executing with the help of iostream. And hash include conio.h. The second one stands for console input output. In your program, if you are using formatted and the unformatted input output statement, you need to have an idea about conio.h. So for example, here I have defined get ch. Okay, so in the same manner, iomanip.h, it's a manipulation. In your program, if you are using setw, endl, and the set precision, these kind of functions iomanip supposed to use. math.h, any mathematical functions. So the basic header files are iostream and the conio.h is compulsory. If you want to see the any changes with your program, there are different library functions. When you start writing any C++ program, clearly first of all library function, second immediately you are supposed to follow with the class block. The same thing I have done here. Up to this block there's a class block. When you are defining the class block, the keyword supposed to be used. That keyword itself a class, and this is name of the class. This name is not compulsory. In the place of CS, you can use any other name, no problem. So just here I have used CS. Okay, class is a keyword, CS is the name of the class. Class is a collection of objects which combines data member and member function together into a single unit. See, this is the open flower bracket, this is the closed flower bracket, right? Open flower bracket, closed flower bracket. Whatever you are defining inside this thing or inside the class body, that refers a combination of data member and member functions. So put together we call it as a class, name of the class. When you are going to develop any program, either structure oriented or a OOPS oriented, you should have an idea about a variable, because without a variable it is not possible to read or display anything, right? Here I am developing a multiplication of two numbers. So in the last class, addition of two number, here multiplication of two number. So for multiplying two numbers, I have taken two variable a and b. After multiplying these two, whatever the result comes, that is storing in C. So for that, a, b, c I have declared as a data member of integer type. In the OOPS concept, whenever you are declaring any variable or a member function or a member functions, you should take a help of access specifier, right? So there are three different access specifier. One is private, public, and protected. All the three is not compulsory. Whichever the things is required for your program, those access specifier you are supposed to call. Here I have called one is public, but here I have not mentioned anything. In the C++, if you have not mentioned anything with the data member or a member function, by default compiler will consider that as private access specifier, because private is the default access specifier. Okay, there are three variable I have declared here, and if you want to read these three directly, we will do like this. But this is the oops oriented, right? So we cannot do like this. If you want to do this one, you need to have a function name. So for that I have taken function name called as read. Okay, just if you taken read, program will be executed, but you should use a return keyword. To avoid that, I am using here void read, open the flower bracket. Here I'm telling why I have declared these ABC. I want to give some value for AB so that I can multiply easily A and B. Okay, how many variable? Those many extraction symbol. For example, if you want to read three variables, so A 2 greater than symbol, B again 2 greater than C, if you have more greater than, then followed by the variable. In this particular class I have used three member function. This is first member function, this is second, and this is third. In your program you may have one member function or n number of member functions, no problem. Okay, if you want to call this logical expression in this read only, you can call, or if you want to take separately, you can take separately also, no problem. Okay, just I want to give separate way. That's what, for reading one, for logical one, and for the printing one, there are three member functions I have defined here. So the name only indicate member function is a set of operations will be performed, but how you are performing using it? Data member of the class only, using these data member. See here, AB I have called data member, here logical expression, but the names are referred as data member. Here printing what? See, already declared here. Whatever the member function you define, those member functions will be executed with the help of data member only. These data member will give the characteristics of your class, and this member function will be gives complete operations of the class. Okay, now library block you have defined, class block you have defined, and one thing remember dear students, always the class block will be terminated with semicolon. Now after defining this, if you want to see the result of any program or any oops oriented or structure oriented, you should have a main block. As usual, we know main block I have defined here, little bit changes with the oops concept. Void main, open the flower bracket. If you want to execute these member functions, then you're supposed to create a reference object. How you are creating the reference object? A class name followed by the object name. What is our class name? Class name is CS. I have called the same thing. BH here I have called. Reference object can be anything, but one thing you remember, this name should not be same as a data member. Andre illi A ಅಥವಾ B ಅಥವಾ C ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, because ABC I have used as a data member. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ CS ಅಂತಾನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, because CS is the name of the class. ಹೌದಲ್ಲ? So apart from these two, you can call any alphabet as a reference object, and again you can have n number of reference object also. For example, CS, BH, comma BH1, BH2, BH3. How many reference object you define or declare, those many reference objects are having a link with each and every member function of your class. Okay, now after creating the reference object, how you are accessing? With the help of dot operator. What is the use of dot operator? Dot operator is used to access a member function of your class. Okay, dot operator is used to access a member function of your class in the form of result. Chalo, there are three member function. First one is read, second one is logic, third one is print. So this BH will be defined with read logic print, bh dot read, bh dot logic, bh dot print, close the floor bracket. In the oops program, if you want to execute, then you are supposed to call the member functions inside the main block with the help of dot operator. Then the program will be executed in a fluent manner. Basic one thing you remember, like if you want to develop a C++ program, then first you are supposed to define a library, then the class block, then the main block, then you will understand easily how you are going to execute your program. Thank you.